care of business with Jim Belushi in it. It was a spec script that JJ had sold, that put him on the map, then he wrote Regarding Henry, that Harrison Ford was in and stuff, and Mike Nichols directed. So I knew his name and shit. I heard his name, and I'd never met him before. And he was like, hey, I'm J.J. Abrams. I was like, hey man, how are you? Nice to meet you and stuff. He goes, what's in the box? And I said, oh, shirts for this movie we made called Clerks. He goes, can I have one? And like a dick, I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And I opened the box and he grabbed a shirt. He's like, thanks, man. And I was like, nice to meet you. And then they went into Miramax to have a meeting. And I remember the whole fucking ride home with Mosier. All I could talk about was like, can you believe he took one of our fucking shirts? Like, we don't know this fucking guy. I had 10 fucking shirts, he took one, now I got 9, man. And Scott goes, your math is incredible. And I was like, yeah, man. I said, why did I just let him have that shirt? I should have held him. No, this is from friends or something like that. He's like, I don't know, I thought it was weird, you just let him take a shirt, man. He walked all over, he owned you like a bitch. I said, he's a nice guy, man. Next time I fucking ran into him, it was years later in Los Angeles, and I got a phone call. They were like, J.J. Abrams wants to go out to lunch with you and Nick G. J.J. and Nick G were working on a Superman movie that didn't happen before the Bryan Singer Superman movie. They were working on one that fell apart and stuff. So, you know, they were like, we're working on Superman now. We're working with John Peters. We heard you tell that story on the internet about working with John Peters when they were trying to make Superman with Nick Cage and Tim Burton back in the day. We would like to sit down with you and compare crazy notes. So I said, fucking absolutely. They invited me out to lunch and shit. It was right under the place where Nick G's production office was. And we sat around eating, and they told me stories, I told them stories and stuff. And they're like, oh my God, this guy's fucking incredible. This is a weird experience. They took me upstairs to show me footage. I saw pre-viz footage of Superman's first flight for a movie that J.J. Abrams wrote, Nick G directed, that never fucking happened. It was crazy. Great first flight sequence though. It was pre-viz. They do it with all computer animated characters, but you see exactly what it would look like. And at the end of it, I was like, thanks for watching and meeting you guys and shit. I don't really hang out with people in the business, so it's always nice when you get to rub elbows with fucking people that do the job better than you and make more money on it. Maybe someone rub off and shit. So before I left, JJ's like, where are you going? I said, I'm gonna go home. I gotta help my wife for my kid's birthday parties tomorrow. And he's just like, oh my God, how old is she? And I was like, she's gonna be 2 years old. And he goes, I have fucking kids. She's almost 2, man. Can I bring my kid to your party? Now, you know, like 2 roads diverged into yellow wood, and I took the road less traveled, but I got a chance to go back and take the other fucking road, man. Last time he's like, can I have a shirt? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. He's like, can I go to the party? I could literally just be like, no, dude, I don't know you. But instead I was like, yeah, totally, why don't you come by? And then I gave the address and shit. And I went home and I told my wife, and she goes, how was it? I was like, it was nice. I said, but you know, JJ said I invited him to the kid's birthday party. She goes, why would you do that? Do you know him that well? I said, to be honest, he kind of invited himself. I didn't want to be shitty about it, so like, you know, fucking people say that all the time. Hey, I'll come over, we'll never see him again. Fucking next day at the party, he showed up with his kid, man. I was like, hey, how are you? He goes, good. And he's like, the party's happening? I said, it totally is. I was like, you realize how rare it is that somebody says, hey, I'll come over, and they actually come over and shit? And he goes, is this rude? I was like, no, it's not fucking rude at all, come on in. It's been hung out, and our kids play together. Our kids actually still play together. They go to school together and hang out. It's kind of cute. So I've known him for years, and we've never been like best friends or anything like that, but he's super congenial, really fucking wonderful guy. I invited him onto an episode of Dinner for Five that I did with Jon Favreau once. Jon Favreau hosted a show on IFC called Dinner for Five, and it was great. It's him and 4 other people together, interesting people from the business or whatever, and they just sit around at dinner at a restaurant and then fucking talk about shit. It's great. It's like a podcast.